Now we come to stanza number 35 on the 9th chapter of Bodhicharyavatara. So at this moment now there are some questions that in the previous stanzas it was said that by realizing the nature of emptiness, or the way the things are, so an enlightened person would see this nature of phenomena, the emptiness nature of phenomena, and thereby free themselves from any kind of grasping, and therefore all negative or all kind of grasping, both negative and positive, ceases or is become unnecessary because of their great wisdom and clarity. So therefore, if that is like that, then how would an enlightened person work for the benefit of sentient beings? Because they don't have any I should help this, I should not help this. You don't feel bad that somebody is suffering, and if I am suffering very strongly and I pray to the Buddha's mind is totally in equanimity and completely in peace. So how would they be able to help sentient beings? If you say that, then the answer is, as the wishing jewel and tree of miracles fulfill and satisfy all hopes and wishes. Likewise, through their prayers for those who might be trained, as physical appearance of the conquerors occurs. Here, the understanding is the Buddhas doesn't need to be, full of emotions or full of, pain and suffering and problems. They can be totally enlightened. They can be totally free from any effects of the negative emotions. But at the same time, they could also clearly see what everything is happening, how everything is happening, and then can help beings also without making any efforts. Spontaneously, effortlessly, they can help. And also, it is said that the Buddhas or enlightened beings never get kind of tired, or never, it's not that, now I'm working so much on these people, so I have no time to work on all those other people. Those kind of thing is not there. It's said to be totally spontaneous. Everything is on time. Everything happens as how all the causes and conditions come together. It covers everybody and everything, and that is because of their special kind of wisdom and completely kind of perfect wisdom and perfect compassion. If you ask, how can that happen? How can that happen? How can something happen? You can do something without, feeling that you need to do this. Kind of sense of emotion or effort or judgment or anything like that. So there, the example given is wishing jewel and tree of miracles. This is an Indian, what you can say, Indian mythology. There's wishing jewels and tree of miracles. If you have them, if that wishing jewel you have, then whatever you pray for to that wishing jewel, immediately those things arrive and fulfill all the hopes and wishes of the person who is praying. Kind of that way, although the wishing jewel doesn't have any particular, thoughts and emotions, but because all the causes and conditions are put together, so therefore its effect happens. In the same way, Buddhas perfected their compassion and accumulated all kind of positive deeds through kalpas and kalpas and kalpas and kalpas, and they have kind of accumulated and perfected causes and conditions to be able to help all the beings, throughout the space and things like that. Because of that, then it becomes natural that they got that power, or they got that situation where if somebody prays or thinks of the Buddha, then Buddha, if somebody has the right conditions to have to see the Buddha naturally appears in front of them and has the power to do whatever needs to be to help that help can happen. Now this is continuously saying the healing shrine of the Garuda, even when its builder was long dead, continued even ages thence to remedy and soothe all plagues and venoms. This is talking about a specific shrine, the shrine of Garuda. This is somewhere in India, maybe very famous at that time. But there are many things like that. You create this, all the together, like medicine, for instance, or situations from which the certain. Here it's the main thing is that if something is created that has the right causes and conditions to create something or to make some efforts, then it doesn't necessarily have to have lots of thoughts and emotions and efforts, that thing will naturally happen. So this shrine of Garuda was built by one rishi. I think his name was Shankar or something like that, and he built that shrine of Garuda and blessed it, and made all the practices there, and so that all the poisons, especially like poisons that has come from like nagas, like snake bites or things like that. So whoever goes to that shrine, if he has this venom and plague, then it's healed. That shrine has the capacity to heal, and that power of healing in that shrine didn't discontinue after that rishi or that person died. Even that person died for centuries and centuries after also, that healing power remained. So like the same, likewise, having gained the shrine of victory in accordance with their deed for sake of Buddhahood, though Buddhas pass beyond all grief, they yet can satisfy all ends. Of course, we usually say that the blessings of the Buddha is always there. But the blessings of the Buddha, and not only blessings of Buddha is always there, but blessings of the Buddha is spontaneously there. For that, the Buddhas don't have to think, or Buddhas don't have to make efforts. It naturally happens. But then you might ask why we don't seem to receive that blessing. Now that's the main thing. It is said that say like the one of the examples given is there's the moon in the sky, and the moon reflects in the river, and so if you want the reflection of that moon with you, you can go out with at that time there was no mirror and things like that, I think. So if you take a bowl of water and go out of your room, and where the moon is shining, then you can get the reflection of that moon. And if 1,000 people go out with their bowl of water, they can have 1,000 reflection of moon. If 1,000,000 people go out with their bowl of water, you can have millions of reflection of moon. If 1,000,000,000 people go out, they can have 1,000,000,000 reflections. And each of these reflections of the moon is as clear and as perfect and as totally fresh as the first one, and for that the moon does not have to do anything. The moon doesn't get tired, the moon doesn't get less clear because there are more people, so in the same way, the compassion and the compassionate, the result of that perfect compassion to help all sentient beings happens. And so therefore, in the same way, it affects everybody. It just have to be the right conditions. If I don't go out with my bowl of water, I cannot have the reflection of the moon. The sun is shining all the time, and that sun has the capacity to dispel the darkness wherever there is. But if I sit in a room and close all my windows and doors and all the kind of gaps and places where the sunlight might come in, then the sunlight cannot come in. So in the same way, the Buddhas, so therefore it is said in 37, likewise having gained the shrine of victory in accordance with their deeds for sake of Buddhahood, though bodhisattvas pass beyond all grief, they yet can satisfy all ends. A bodhisattva can completely become totally peaceful, totally, enlightened, completely free from any kind of a struggle or, negative emotions and judgment and, efforts, completely, but that doesn't mean that there is no clarity. It sees everything. It can see anything, and it can, all the activities and the blessings and all these things naturally happen. The Buddhas don't have to be angry. They don't have to become upset. They don't have to become grieving. They don't have mourn. They don't have become sad. They don't have become, very kind of motivated or, what can you say, completely, passionately, something like that. But at the same time, they can be completely clear, completely compassionate, and completely performing all the Buddha activities, without any efforts. Then 38. But how, you ask, can offerings made to beings freed from all discursiveness give fruit? It's said that whether Buddha lives or pass beyond, the offerings made to them are equal in their merit. So, you see, I can ask, if they are, beyond any kind of emotions or judgments or, any kind of, things like that, then, we make offerings to the Buddha, and, we kind of pray to the Buddhas and things like that. Why it's not useful, because Buddha doesn't seem to be reacting. He's beyond any reaction. He's free from, can never be kind of disturbed. So how can Buddhas, what's the use of making offerings and things like that? So, but how, you ask, can offerings made to beings freed from all discursiveness, how can they give fruit? It is said that whether Buddhas live or pass beyond, the offerings made to them are equal in their merit. So since this question is asked by some Buddhists, so this is given in a Buddhist kind of answer. The answer is actually from the sutra. The sutras, there are many sutras where the Buddha says, that if somebody makes an offering to the image or relics or this stupa of a Buddha in future, when Buddha has passed away, then they will get the same result or the effect that they are making, offerings and the prayers to a living Buddha. That's said in the sutras. That is because, the result is not coming from the Buddha, making like, Buddha's mind is not like, this person is praying to me, so I must help him. This person is not praying to me, so I don't need to help him. This person, is more devoted to me, so therefore I will give him more, more results or more blessings or more help. And this person is not so devoted to me, so I give less. So Buddha doesn't have that kind of concepts. Buddha's compassion is exactly same to anybody. Somebody who is, very devoted, very pure, very, positive, and somebody who has done lots of negative things also. But anybody who makes a positive deed gets the positive result. And that's not because Buddha is thinking that I must. It's just because of the nature of the, our own action. And that's reaction. Things like that. Whether you assert them in the ultimate or relative merit, so the scriptures say, arises, just as there will be results when Buddhas are considered truly real. And then the another question is, if the Buddha is also emptiness, Buddha is also emptiness, everything is emptiness, everything is, illusion-like. So how can an illusion-like Buddha give me, blessings, and how can I receive blessings from Buddhas and Bodhisattvas who are also illusion-like? I am like illusion. I am illusion. Buddhas and Bodhisattvas also emotion. And so therefore, how can this is, what the Buddha says is this, that because, as we said again already, even if Buddha or anything else, is not something truly existing, that doesn't necessarily, stop or prevent from anything happening. because everything is happening, because it's interdependence, because it's cause and effect, because it's it doesn't have a truly independent existence. If there was a truly independent existence, then it cannot change. So there can't be any progress. There cannot be any changes. They cannot affect each other. So therefore, the reason why everything can happen is because it's not truly existing, independent existing. So this is up to 39, and so now I will just read out the Tibet, which is not very actually difficult to understand. Yigin norba pasamshin chatarewa yonkoma tekin dajar melamji onkin javi kirnongo. Pena nanka dingen chodonre nindechaba. Tendi yiri loyo te tuila soba shijigin. Shonche shubi jintamba javin chodonre bayo. Shonche semba nyangel indechon toyonam tamche zi. Seme pala chuchibe chivdan dribu denbanjar konshiri yubawo nyangende sombanyede sheshuru. Konzopana tenyete ronte tendi lonliyin. Pena denbi sonjila chidan dribu jeba yuns. So this is up to 39, I think 39.